To my YouTube channel. My name is Chisum, and today I have with me. Introduce yourself.
Ifeoluwa Joseph.
Okay. So I'm starting episodes on living or dealing with asthma, and like I said, this is my first host for the episode. You probably will see more people as more episodes are being uploaded. Stay tuned and don't go anywhere. So, how long have you had asthma?
Since I was about 9, 10, and I'm 27 now, so that's about 17, 18 years that I've been living with asthma.
When your parents found out that you had asthma, what was their reaction to it?
Okay, was my mom that first found out, because the first night I had asthma attack was in the middle of the night, around maybe 3 a.m. or something, and I just woke up and my chest just felt really, really heavy. As if it was coming to my throat. And okay, I sat up, it went down. If I laid back down, it went back up. So I went to my mom's room. And okay, I was very stubborn as a child now. So she thought that this was just another wahala that me I was trying to cause. So, okay, my mom is also asthmatic.
Oh.
Yeah, my mom is also asthmatic. So after she saw how restless I was and how I was acting, and she straight away knew that, okay, it has to do with asthma, this one cannot breathe up. So at first she gave me an inhaler to use, but it wasn't working. Then I just wasn't responding at some point. Next thing I knew, I blacked out. Next thing I remember, I just woke up with drip in my arm and I was on the hospital bed. So yeah, it was a very crazy night.
Yeah, but how did your family generally come to accept the terms that you are asthmatic?
I mean, they're fine with it. It was never a big deal, because like I said, my mom is asthmatic. Yeah. So we always knew that, and she has a pretty good handle on it. It never really caused any serious problems for her.
Okay.
So she's basically very familiar with it and handling it and everything. So they weren't worried at all. They just knew that, okay, I need to be more careful with certain things I was doing and all that.
Okay. Is there anything you can pinpoint that makes you start having any asthmatic attack or something?
Yeah, okay, it used to be a lot worse when I was younger, but as I grew older, it became a lot more bearable. But when I was much younger, cold, if it was really cold, dust.
Okay.
Dust was also very, very annoying. Cold and dust were the two main things for me back then. But now it's a lot more bearable. I can do a lot of stuff in the cold stuff and dust. I play football, I play basketball, it's nothing. So
yeah.
Back then it was a lot more rough though. It was a lot more frequent too.
Okay. Yeah. Was it something that you could easily tell your friends about? Tell them straight up that you're asthmatic?
I don't ever remember it being something I was reluctant to tell people. It was annoying because it literally felt like I was choking sometimes and all that.
Yeah.
So it was annoying to deal with at first, but yeah, a couple of my friends knew, but I don't think everyone knew back in school. It was just a couple of my friends that knew, but yeah, I don't think I had any problems telling anybody.
And when you told them, how did they react to it?
A lot of them didn't know what asthma is then, because we're all kids and all that. Probably the first time they ever heard the word asthma and all that. So yeah, they just looked at me okay, this one is about to die or something. But yeah, but kids be kids now. So life goes on.
Yeah, but do you have those situations where your friends over worry or over care because they have this mindset?
Oh yeah. Sometimes I got special treatments, okay. Even with the teachers and sometimes, because this maybe schoolwork or something where you guys are sweeping or this and oh no, if you're asthmatic, leave me alone. So yeah, it came in handy at sometimes, because no one wants to be doing manual labor and all that. So yeah.
Okay. What has been your what you would say it's your worst experience since growing up with asthma now?
Worst experience. My worst experience must have been one time. This was in uni. I was around. I think it was something around 300 level or something. Yeah. I remember leaving school to go. I forgot what I went out of school to do. I went out of school. I went into Lagos because my school is close to Lagos. So I went out of school to Lagos and I didn't have my inhaler with me or anything. And from Ogun State, because I schooled in Commonwealth University, and from Ogun State to Lagos, like it's a long trip. Like it's not like a short trip. And I didn't have my inhaler or anything. And somewhere in the middle of that trip, I had the asthma attack. And yo, it was terrible. Like that asthma attack was terrible. And the driver kept panicking and it was like he didn't know what to do.
Exactly.
Because he didn't even know what was happening with me. I asked him that he should try and get me to school as fast as possible. And no, that day was hell. Because I remember there was traffic on the way and all that shit. So like it was pretty bad. And I just kept thinking to myself like, if anything should happen that, who will even find me? Because I mean I didn't have a phone. I didn't have my inhaler. It wasn't as if I needed to drive a personally, it was a random person. Very few people knew I was even out of school. Yeah. So like it was a very bad experience. But luckily I got to school. Then as soon as I go to school, the health center is not far from the school gate. So the first place I went to was the health center, and so luckily I got a handle on that. So yeah.
Okay. What has been your worst fear?
My worst fear?
Yeah.
Funny enough, like I don't think I've ever been afraid of asthma. Like I've actually never been afraid of asthma. Like I've never been scared that okay, because I have asthma something might happen, like maybe like I won't live long or something like that. Because like I always felt like I cannot do this shit, like this cannot affect me, like we day here, like like that's never like moved me. Like in fact I was even using it to my advantage, like back in secondary school, like I was using it to my advantage because I knew they didn't allow asthmatic people to work or anything, so I was just using it exemption. It's like it was even like to an extent that back in secondary school it was even like a good thing for me, self, not so it has never been a downer for me really. Like that's actually never bothered me.
Okay. That's actually interesting. That's a good mindset, though.
Yeah.
It's really a good mindset. So, what are things you've done personally to help you live with it? Like, probably some meds or some personal things you've done that it's helping you cope with it?
I mean, like, basically, I just try to stay warm.
Okay.
Yeah, I try to stay warm. I try to not stay out in the cold for too long. What else? I also have some breathing exercises that I do anytime like it feels like I'm about to have an attack. Like I know how to like just relax and just take deep breaths and just let it pass.
Okay.
That's if like I don't immediately have my inhaler or something. But like thankfully my asthma is not like chronic because like there are levels to it.
Exactly.
There are levels to it. Like there are some people that is pretty bad. Like my mom's one now is pretty bad. Mine is not like asthma. Just do some breathing exercises and along the line I'll be fine. So yeah. So that's the good thing about my situation.
So how often do you have asthma attack? Probably in a month or in a year or something.
Like I said earlier, yeah, like when I was younger, like it was often. Like it was very often. Like it could be maybe like once a week or once every 2 weeks. Like it was very frequent.
Yeah.
But as I got older, it began to like reduce. Like maybe it's because like I had more like knowledge about handling it and knowing what to do and all that. But like as I grew older, like it wasn't as frequent. So right now, maybe like once or twice a year.
Okay.
That I'll get like as if I'm about to get an attack.
Okay. Do you feel like, because I know you've like changed countries and all, do you feel like the transition from a hot region to a cold region has had an impact in probably increasing or decreasing?
Definitely. Like the pollen level in Dublin is crazy, and that is very annoying. Like, because when I first got to Dublin, like on some random nights, it just feels like it wasn't like an attack, but like it was like I don't know how to explain, but like as if like I was struggling to breathe, basically. Yeah, and like when you're about to like get an attack, like that feeling in your chest, like it was as if I had that like almost every night for like first few weeks I got to Dublin, and it was really really annoying. And so yeah, it was hard to adjust to the new country and new weather and everything, because the cold against you is crazy. Because I came during the winter and all that, so it was annoying.
So you think the cold now is contributing more to you having asthma attacks?
The cold and
compared
pollen,
to when you were in
the cold and pollen level in Dublin is contributing. So yeah, like I've had more experiences with this short period I've been in Dublin than I've had in Nigeria over the past maybe like 2 or 3 years. So yeah, it's been a bit annoying, but at the same time, there's nothing scary.
Yeah.
Like there's all been mild and.
Okay, what are your living habits, especially in this period with the coronavirus that is going everywhere? Do you have like a living habit, something you are using, or the way you live that is securing you or something, or even helping you to reduce you having asthma attacks?
There are some preventive inhalers that I use, but I don't use them often. I just use them like once in a while. That's like maybe like if it's cold out, or maybe like if it's hot outside because of the pollen. So like I just use so that it's like to prevent like having an attack if I go outside. Again, I try to stay warm. So yeah, I don't really do too much, because thankfully, like I said, mine is not like really bad. Like I can still do basically anything I want to do. I could still play basketball, I could still play around, I could still even play in the cold self while wearing minimum clothing and all that. So yeah, like, but at the same time I try to always have my inhaler with me. I always stay warm. Yeah, so that's.
Since you came to this country, have you been to the hospital because of asthma or something?
Oh no.
You've not?
Thankfully not.
Okay, so you wouldn't know if their medical system here is better, like in giving some treatments for you?
I wouldn't know.
So what advice would you give people watching this video? Like, these are things that is expected of you to do when handling someone that is asthmatic, or if you have a friend or family that is asthmatic, like what are the kind of advice you can give them?
If you ever have a friend that is asthmatic and maybe like you don't know what to do, basically just try and keep them like not seated, basically not laying on their backs. Keep them seated. Try and give them as much room to breathe as possible. Call the ambulance or something. Then if they have their inhaler with them, try and get their inhaler as quick as possible, because I can't emphasize that enough. The inhaler is very very important.
And what about probably their reaction to someone that is asthmatic?
Oh yeah, it's a scary thing to witness someone that's asthmatic. It's actually a scary thing, because even me that I'm asthmatic, anytime I see, for instance, my mom going through one of her episodes, it's still very scary, because I know how bad it can get.
Okay.
So it's still very scary, but like, I mean, like, it doesn't help when you're panicking and your friend or whatever too is going through that. So like, just try and stay calm and just try and do what you're meant to do.
Okay. So you are saying now asthma is not a death sentence?
No, it's definitely not.
Exactly. So you have nothing to worry about, even if you have someone connected to you.
No, you can still do anything you want to do. You can still live freely and all that.
So this is the end of the first episode. Thank you so much for viewing my channel. Like, I'm super grateful. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to also share to people. You never know who is going to benefit. See you some other time. Bye.